Bourbon Barkeep, my name's Curtis, and you've tuned into a Booker's episode. Yes, the first batch, 2026-01, the Big Easy batch. Quite the story behind it. Am I going to make some assumptions about this story? Yes, absolutely. And then we're going to taste it and see, can we keep justifying $100 for this bottle? Well, we keep getting glimpses into Booker No's life. Quite enjoyable hearing about someone else's dad just out there partying in New Orleans. And this is the batch where we get a little glimpse into it. Probably the PG version. Would love to hear the PG-13 version. But alas, there's only so much room on these cards. They went with a beautiful royal purple, which obviously that matters when it comes to buying this bottle, is what color is the label. Now, Booker No, big Nylons guy. Being a Bucks fan, don't really care for the city, but I'm sure they're wonderful people. Booker No, loved him apparently. Apparently, he had enough memorable or potentially unmemorable nights to himself to where one of the times he actually went down there, they actually changed Bourbon Street to Jim Beam Bourbon Street. And I asked myself, would I rather have a street name named after me, or would I rather be in like some rap lyrics? And then I went down crazy rabbit holes. And I just sat here prepping. I'm like, what are we doing? Much like you're asking right now. Diving further into the card, you find out his favorite food, at least in New Orleans, was the Lucky Dog streetcar. I love street food, depending on, what that grade is in the window. If it's a C, probably going to pass. But apparently, love those hot dogs. And I was wondering, again, like, is there something greater than like a good street hot dog? Maybe opening day at the ballpark. But then you realize your team sucks and you're like, well, this is going to be the highlight of my season. So it hits even better. I don't know. If you have any other suggestions on when a hot dog hits just right, put it in the comments. Other people ask you, hey, have you tried this whiskey? I'm asking, what's the best hot dog in your life? So that's how this episode's going to go. Anyways, into the specs. So this isn't 20 minutes. Big Easy batch, first batch, 2026. If you just skipped ahead, I don't blame you. 129.1 proof. That is going to be one of the hotter batches, comparing it to the 2024 batches and 2025 batches. And then we're coming in 7 years, 2 months, 15 days. And that just kind of seems to be the wheelhouse at this point. I was asking AI, where's this rank? And they're like, the middle. I'm like, this is what's replacing everybody? We are poured up. I continually ask myself, why do I keep spending $100 on this? If I didn't have a channel, I probably wouldn't. But some of you are running low on your Booker's batches. So is this a batch worth buying? Are the specs going to blow us out of the water? No, we're past those days. But the juice is good, typically. Let's find out. On the nose. Hasn't been cracked that long. Couple days, I believe. That's some alcohol coming through here, but fantastic, kind of this nice brown sugar and vanilla right off the bat. Yeah, she has some burn to the nose. This is not a smooth nose at this point, but coming in very dark, very rich, good oak spice, good baking spice in there with a little cinnamon, just a little extra dash in there. When you're talking about a Booker's batch, maybe even Jim Beam, but at least for me, especially a Booker's batch, you wonder, where's the peanut at this point? This is kind of coming across a little more honey roasted peanut more than peanut shell. The salty batches, not typically where I want to go. I can go candy bar batches. But this one, nice little honey roasted in there. But like I said, good oak, some vanilla, or I guess heavy vanilla, I should say. Some leather, that's where I was going. Jumped a tasty note. Overall, pretty rich, deep, dark nose. Let's see if the palate matches. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's rich, sweet. That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I look forward to that second sip. Man, pretty oily. Hangs around for a while. Good slow burn in the chest where you're not just in F16 down into your esophagus. But man, that's a good one. Rich, sweet vanilla extract, good oak presence in there. What is starting to kind of come out is a nice kind of coffee, maybe like a nice roasted coffee rather than like a coffee bean. I don't know, maybe I'm just more excited to have coffee when it's not in dry bean form. I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. But my mind immediately kind of went to just a nice fresh black cup of coffee. Just slight bitterness in there, but really rounded out by a good brown sugar, great kind of a vanilla extract in there, so not really going into more of a custard or cream. Pretty intense vanilla with great oak spice, good baking spices, and at least after first sip, good finish. Now, first sip can be a liar. I say it almost every episode because it's very true. So, am I intrigued, excited for sip 2? Yes. Sip 2, try to spend a little more time with it, put the nose back on there. It is kind of opening up a little bit. These Bookers do take a while. So if you aren't a big fan of the batch or any batch, maybe give it a little time, but ultimately it is starting to open up to where that honey roasted peanut is still there. I do feel like it's going more into maybe like a roasted pecan, like a toasted pecan type of deal. But if you are not peanut guy, this could be a pretty good batch for you. If you are peanut guy, you may still like it. I don't know. But ultimately, these are deep, rich, dense flavors that I'm really enjoying. Really enjoy that coffee. Once you start getting, there's just a slight bitterness into the back of the palate. But when I start to pick up coffee, I do feel like, at least in my mind, it does start to go a little more dark chocolate, which I would rather have dark chocolate than sour tannic oak. So maybe it's glass half full for once in my life. Overall, when you're talking about the sweetness, maybe I'm repeating some of the tasty notes, but at least you know it's stuck. I do feel like that deep dark brown sugar is still there. Maybe a nice, like maybe a toffee or maybe even like a burnt caramel or just slightly overcooked caramel, so it sounds a little bit better. Just good vanilla, oak. I don't think that you're going to get wild tasty notes off of a Booker's. Usually I feel like you're kind of wading through the waters of how heavy is the peanut and the salt and the shell of the peanut. Do you get any fruit? How much chocolate there is there? And things of that nature. Yes, they do taste different, but there's just a couple fine-tuned pieces to them. This one, it just seems to be darker, a little richer. I was tempted on sip 2 to maybe go plum. I think maybe I'm reaching a little bit, to be totally transparent. So we're going to do a sip 3 and then compare it to 2025 04 Phantom Pipes, mainly because I can still find it on shelves. Some people really like that batch. It did get last place for me in Bookers of the Year, but I did feel like the other 3 batches were especially good last year. So let's get sip 3 down, see if any closing thoughts are there. Do a quick compare, see, do you want the $90 Phantom Pipes? Chances are it could be on sale, or the $100 new batch. Those are the questions that we have to answer here. But first, sip 3. Now it's head new, so I think I'm going to pull out Phantom Pipes like Jim Beam didn't do, or they did do. I can't remember the story. But overall, sweetness is great. I will go into at least mouthfeel because that's important to me. It is pretty oily, a little drying on the sides of the tongue, but overall, the sweetness and just a really nice, oily, almost syrupiness right down the middle of the palate. Delightful. Let's pour Phantom Pipes, do a quick compare. Poured up. Let's zoom through this guy real quick. Phantom Pipes, batch 04. We got 126.4 proof, so a little bit lower than what we're talking about with the Big Easy. And 7 years, 6 months, 15 days. So just slightly older. Once again, I do feel like Booker's has kind of found their wheelhouse, at least in the recent 2 to 3 years I've been doing this. Phantom Pipes, it was good, sweet. I remember maybe the brightest of the batches for my personal palate. Last year, I was on record saying it probably would have gotten second or third in, what would that be, 2024. I do feel like there's usually one very good batch. I felt like last year had 3 very good batches. So kept me intrigued enough to drop another $100. So as you can see, slightly better, questioning life decisions. Bookers will help. So let's see how it compares real quick. We're going to go straight into Phantom Pipes since I've beat Big Easy Batch into the ground. So what I remember, very sweet, sweetest probably of the batches that I can remember. Just kind of felt a little bit one lane in my opinion, but what is on the nose is rich, it's good, it's very inviting. I go maple, vanilla, maybe like a little honey in there. You still get this nice oak in there, maybe a little less baking spice from what was coming on the Big Easy. And I was wondering if I was still going to get it, but I still kind of get this maraschino cherry in there, and I just haven't gotten it from a Booker's. It's intriguing enough, but I do think it leans into that the sweetness that I was getting. Yeah, Big Easy, it is. It's big, and I will say the alcohol sting has started to subside, whether I'm getting used to it, aeration, all the things. I love that nose. Big Easy's opening up, and I'm excited for it. Let's get Phantom Pipes on the palate, bounce right back. This one's going to be an easier sipper for a Booker's. Still get good mouthfeel, oily. I do think the mouthfeel is a little bit better. A little less drying on the sides of the palate. Same finish in the chest. High quality, slow burn, right where you want to be. But I'm telling you that vanilla extract, very prominent, great oak, good cinnamon spice to it. It's just very vanilla extract forward, and that's fine. It's very sweet. This is a very good batch. Now we're gonna bounce back. I'm gonna get my water because this episode's gonna hurt if you're bouncing that quick. It's an easy win for me, not because Phantom Pipes placed last year isn't good. It's actually a little bit better than I remember. This is going to be more my profile with these deep, rich flavors. This really fun coffee, not horribly pronounced, but it's definitely there once you get past your typical brown sugar, oak, vanilla. It's a bold batch. It's a dense, full-bodied pour. And that's what I look for in my Bookers. Would I enjoy a little more fruit in there? Yes, I would. But man, Booker's is definitely, with it being last place last year, still very good. We are probably on 6 to 7 batches in a row that I have felt are pretty darn good. Do the specs check out with 7 years? No, it is barrel proof, legacy distiller. I'm paying the $100. I don't regret it. I do only because I have so many batches. I can't keep up with the batches, but this one's going to be a buy. Now, where do we plug it into our Whiskey of the Year rankings? We got our census categories. Those are our buckets. What does the numbers actually mean? Hopefully that leads and guides you at this point. This one, oh boy, I think I'm just going to go a flat 80. I can't put it into the very good stuff. I think this is a great batch. I don't remember what the top 2 were last year, so someone can look it up. I think it's an 80. I don't remember if this would beat Barry's batch and whatever batch 3 was. I can't remember. All the names are running together. But I remember Barry's being excellent. I don't think it brings that type of depth and kind of chocolatey candy bar. But this one's good. Now, bang for the buck. Stop rambling. Bang for the buck. Would I pay above $100? Absolutely not. If you could find it for $90, good for you. If you find that Costco Booker's, I feel like it's a pull every time. And you don't have to feel guilty. But this one, at the specs, I'm not paying $100. I got my money's worth. We're just going to go 56. It tastes like a $100 bottle. People are going to fight back. I get it. I'm only going to pay $40 for a whiskey bottle. Good on you. Totally get it. If you're a Booker's guy, you're going to buy it regardless. If you're the guy that's like, hey, I just want to buy the good batches, could this be the best batch of the year? Absolutely. Ultimately, you're in for a great pour, exactly what you're kind of looking for from a Booker's, unless you're a peanut salt guy. Then just keep walking. I don't know what you're doing. Or just suck on a peanut like a Zen and sip it that way. Win-win, probably cheaper. So wrapping up, like, subscribe. Thank you all for continuing to tune in. It's been a journey, a fun journey. The generosity from some of you all has been mind-blowing. I don't get it, and I appreciate it. And it feels weird accepting some of the samples sometimes, so I appreciate you all. Wrap it up. That's what we got.